All right. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tyler. This is Austin. We are the Gritty Gamblers, and we're presented by Stadium Rant. You can follow us on Twitter at Stadium Rant HQ, on Facebook at Stadium Rant, and on Instagram as well, same handle. And we'll just kind of get right into it. We're just a couple of guys making some bets, trying to beat the bookies, and trying to help you guys make some money as well. How you doing this week, Austin?
Doing good. It was a pretty brutal week for me. I'm going to be honest. Sunday was a bad look for me. Plus 3.5 against the Jets last second. That was horrible. Had a five leg parlay. Houston Texans really got me on that one. I took the Colts money line. So
yeah, no,
bad week.
Definitely feel you on that. I for the first time in like 4 weeks, I think it was, Burrow went under 1.5 touchdown passes, and that cooked like a $600 parlay for me. So that one hurt. That one hurt. But we're back. We're currently watching this thrashing that TCU's getting. Of course, I threw just a side $10 bet on TCU because they're almost plus 400. And I still thought that was good value. But I'm looking like I was wrong.
I think I heard a stat that said there's been 5 of like these national championship or Super Bowl games that have had double digit covers. Like they're double digit favorites, and the team ended up beating the team that was favored double digits. Like that's wild. So
yeah, it's a flyer. You know what I mean? It's a flyer.
Right. Absolutely. So, plus 400, you can't beat that, especially national championship.
Yeah, no. But I thought it was going to be a much better game than what it's turned out to be so far. But yeah, them's the breaks when you're just being outclassed by a team like Georgia. You just out. It's just a different weight class, unfortunately. Like than most teams.
Dude, it's wild card weekend.
Yeah, it is. We're already here. I actually don't like it. Like that season went by way too fast, and the off season's gonna be wicked fun, but it's also gonna just take so long again. So
the NFL added a week, and it seems like the season goes by faster. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it just completely disappeared yet again, and but we are here, and these are the money games that we like to talk about. So hopefully we can make a little bit of money off of them. The first game scheduled on Saturday at 4:00. It's the Seahawks and the 49ers, divisional foes. We've seen this matchup before, and we've seen this matchup with McCaffrey in the lineup. How do you feel about it?
So before we were talking, I think it's odd that this is the first game on for the day. It is at 4:30, but it would be at 1:30 their time on the West Coast. I don't know if that'll play into what I'm going to bet, but I do know that last time these two teams played, I took the Seahawks. I believe it was on a Thursday night game, and San Francisco just proved me wrong again. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Like, I know it's a big number, especially in a divisional game in a wild card, but 49ers minus 10, like, they just stomped the Cardinals. And the Seahawks could barely get a win through with the Rams. So it's like, man, I can't go away from the 49ers here at 10.
Yeah, no. How what's your stance on buying points? I mean, I know this is the first time we've kind of gotten to talk to each other here. How do you kind of add that into your betting process?
So I try to see. So whenever a line comes out, I look at it. So like 6.5 is like, I'm thinking, all right, they're tempting you to take the 6.5 because they want, the 7. But over time, I feel like I've kind of went away from that football number, and I've kind of just done bets where I feel like I'm confident in, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, I took the Eagles at 14 this week, and I never take big margins at 14 is so many points, but I ended up taking the Eagles anyway, just because I figured that the Giants would sit some players, and the Eagles had to win.
Yeah.
But it didn't end up paying off for me. So, like I said, it kind of just differs. There is a play this week that has that 6.5 number that I love, and I'm not going to go away from. But it kind of just depends from game to game.
Yeah, no, I definitely get you on that. I was actually in the same boat as you. on that Seahawks game on that Thursday night because I was riding. I thought Gino was really he had just said that quote about they forgot about him or they counted him out. So like we were all on the Gino train. He had a great season and he's in the postseason. Russell Wilson's not, but yeah, the 10 points here is probably something that I'm gonna play. I'll probably buy it down because I personally I love buying points because I don't like playing what the line set at because like exactly what you said. They're not Vegas isn't your friend. Like
No.
they're not. They like some people I know who gamble, it's like they play off of that line, like that's exactly what's gonna happen. And sometimes it is what's going to happen. Like that's good. There's really smart people making those books, but they're making those books to make money, not to help you out.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's why I'm always trying to get the edge there. I understand it might cost you a few dollars in a parlay, but like that's why I don't make the straight bet and like buy points on those. I actually really don't straight bet at all unless it's like a future or first time touchdown score or like a first basket score.
Right.
I made a good amount of money off first basket scores last year, and then like the streak ran cold for a while. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
can't do it anymore. Can't do it anymore.
There was one point in the season where the spreads were killing me this year, and I eventually got fed up. I was like, I'm just doing money line. Like I would rather do a 5-team parlay money line and get back, plus 200 money rather than betting a minus 110 spread and getting back, same money. So
yeah. That doesn't make any sense to me personally, but so yeah, I definitely like the 49ers minus 10. I also like I think we were talking about the under, but then I think I talked myself out of it with just how many points the 49ers are scoring. I don't see a team total for the 49ers right now, but if it's anything under 30 like 7, I'm kind of riding with the over on that. If you get it at like 31 or 32, like you might have to smash the over on that. Like this team's a well-oiled machine right now with Mr. Irrelevant under center for some reason.
So like me, I do like betting a lot of team total overs, and right now I think it's too early in the week for those to come out. But the problem is I just don't know what Geno I'm going to get. Am I going to get a Pro Bowl Geno, or am I going to get the Geno that's so conservative he don't want to turn the ball over, right? So, I'm going to be looking out for those team totals for this, especially for San Fran, because at 10, the over unders at I don't know if it's at 40, 45. So you're looking at.
I'm seeing it at 43 and on Barstool it's 42 and a half.
42 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're probably looking at like a 27-ish, maybe. Just depends on what they want.
I would smash that.
I would honestly, too. Absolutely.
Like that they might go over that in the first half. Yes. Unfortunately, with how CMC's playing, like now they're getting Debo back, George Kittle, like they're starting to use him again, like not as much as a blocker. Like they're starting to use like the beast mode tight end George Kittle again, rather than the beast mode blocking George Kittle. So yeah, they're firing at all cylinders. The Seahawks defense doesn't have enough pass rush to really bother Purdy, and they're still kind of a run funnel defense as well. So
with the problem with especially like last game, so the 49ers, they just kept beating that defense down because Geno would go 3 and out, right? And the Seahawks defense is on the field for 75% of the game. Eventually, they're going to get tired and score points, so.
Yeah. Definitely. That's actually how I felt about the Pats a lot. Here, what else do we got? We have the Chargers and the Jags up next. That game is at 8:15 on Sunday.
Oh my gosh, this is such a hard game to handicap just because I saw the line open up at 2.5 and it's already down to 1. Yeah. And I want to say that it's the public doing that just because the Chargers in that horrible game against the Broncos. But dude, Sharp's Sharps are weird this year, man. Like some years I can kind of figure out what sharps are going to do. I can't figure them out for the life of me.
They're doing crazy stuff. Like
nuts.
I feel like the public's going to be all over the Chargers. I think this line's going to keep creeping.
I do too. Like I said, with it opening up at 2.5 and it coming down, I think the public initially loved the Jaguars, but at 1, they're going to start hammering the Chargers. Like at this point, it's pretty much just a pick 'em.
Yeah, no, I definitely get you. So my wild card in this whole playoff scenario is definitely the Jaguars. Like I think they're playing just as good as any other team. They got that scoop and score. They're scoring on defense. Trevor Lawrence is starting to look like that, the guy that we all thought he was coming out of college. They actually do have weapons. They turned Evan Ingram into a solid piece. Christian Kirk, who we said was going to be overpaid back then. He actually had a really solid season. He hit most of his contract incentives. Zay Jones, another person who we said was going to be overrated, played really well this season. Travis Etienne's another year in the offense, looking really good. It's a team that like I feel like I've been making money on for most of the season. So I feel like I got to keep riding with the Jags. I mean,
I think you have to as well. I think you have to
line.
As well. At home. Let's not forget it's at home too. Like
yeah,
the Jaguars are better at home. They beat the Cowboys, at home. So, but dude, Doug Peterson is the quarterback whisperer. Like he made Carson Wentz an MVP. Well, before he got hurt, he was an MVP candidate. He made Nick Foles, get him another contract, and he's now made Trevor Lawrence look like a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, no, and he has all the tools that you'd want to have in the quarterback as a quarterback whisperer as well.
Right.
So that team's going to be a problem for years to come. The AFC South might be theirs for a little bit. Like that team, that whole division still is going through turmoil, and that's okay. It's tough. I mean, it's tough to run franchises and like be competitive every year. But yeah, so I think the Jags are going to win that. We're also talking about the team totals. Is that out? Do you have them?
Yes. So I was looking at team totals earlier. This is actually the only game I saw that's out. Both of these team totals are at 23.5 for the Chargers and the Jags.
So I mean, since I'm on the Jags, I'd probably put on the Jags to go over that 23.5 number. How do you feel about it?
Love it. So the last 2 weeks I have. Well, no, the Jacksonville just played the Titans. So the prior 2 weeks, I had Jacksonville team total overs, and they both hit. So I'm going to ride the team total wave. I think I'm going to take 23.5 for the Jaguars here as well. Especially when you go back and look and see that I think they scored 38 on the Chargers last time.
Yep, they did.
I mean, that
was definitely a different Chargers team, but like
absolutely.
They had their number going into that game. I think it was in Jacksonville, like this one's going to be as well.
Right. Yeah. I think Bosa potentially being out as well might move the line down the road because they haven't announced what they're going to do with him yet. But I think him being out might move this line towards the Jaguars' favor as well.
Yeah. So right now they're at plus 100. So like right now might be the time to get them at a little bit of plus money. I like them. I like their team total, and I don't hate the Chargers team total. So like that type of thinking would put me in the camp of over 47 as well. But like that feels too sketchy to me for a playoff game with two teams that do have defensive playmakers. They're not overly great defenses, but they do have playmakers on both sides of the ball.
Like we were talking before, and like if it went 24-20 Jaguars, we wouldn't be surprised at all.
No.
And like vice versa, which of course, if we're going to be betting the 23.5 the Jags, I'd want it to be the Jags. But if it ended up being like 24-20 for the Chargers, we also wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be one of the better games of the weekend, to be honest.
I do too.
I think that this time the 7th seed, even in both conferences, like the Seahawks might get, like we were talking about, the Seahawks might get scrapped, but they're not a bad team. They're not like I don't think they're a phony playoff team. I certainly don't think that like Dolphins are a phony playoff team if they're healthy, but like this might be one of the best games of the entire wild card weekend. So
I was going to say that this game's going to set the tone for Sunday. That's a perfect game to have on a Saturday night.
Yeah, totally agree. So now we're moving on to Sunday here. We'll go to the Dolphins and Bills. This is another big spread, minus 10.5.
I know.
Yeah. I think I have to ride with it though, because like, who are the Dolphins going to start at quarterback? Like,
that's the problem, right? It's like is it going to be Teddy?
Make it worse.
Right. That's the major problem here is we just don't know who the Dolphins are going to put out there. And if it's I can't think of his first name, but if it's Thompson, I know it starts
Skylar Thompson.
It's Skylar Thompson. That scares me. Like I don't want anything to do with that.
No, you don't. Nope.
So as of right now, I feel like you have to go Buffalo 10.5. But if news does come out that Tua is kind of going to be returning and coming back, I think I would lean more towards Miami at covering that 10. Just me. Mm-hmm. I know that if you remember, they made this big deal probably week 14 when Dolphins had to go to Buffalo, and they were saying something about how cold it was going to be, and the Dolphins ended up giving them a great game.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that. Yeah, it was great. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to go. I was on the Bills side. I think the Bills were minus like 8 in that game still. So I don't believe they covered.
I also like the 44.5 is intriguing, right? So if Tua does come back, I think I'm going to hammer that over. That is so. I mean, it's just like 30-24 covers that, and I by far see that happening. Like that's not out of the question.
The Bills just put up 35 this past week. You know, on right. My Pats. That was sad. Big sad dagger by Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
No.
I gotta lay. I think you have to lay the points in Buffalo here.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of those times where Josh Allen might be doing Josh Allen things, saddling up like the cowboy he is. I do like the over 44.5. I like the Bills minus 10.5. Both like I'd probably buy 2 points. I like just because the book that I bet on, it only lets me buy two points, sometimes 3 at a time, because in Massachusetts we're still not there yet with DraftKings. End of the month, the 31st. I'm pretty sure
it's coming.
Yeah, we'll be there soon. We'll be there soon. I give that 50 cents on a 12-leg parlay with like $1,000. I actually last year in Colorado, I bet on every game on the MLB slate on the day, and I cashed out with like 2 games left for $1,000 at the end, because like we went out. I was at my buddies and we went out, and like I had put it in the beginning of the day for $10 bet on 14 MLB games. I don't really like. I watch the baseball like sometimes, but I just kind of threw it in there. Came back home, I looked, and like cash out was like 700, and like 3 games were still left. I was like, oh my god! I wrote out the other 3 games, got the other 300. I was like, all right, $1,000 cashed out.
Absolutely.
And the other game, the last game, didn't hit. If I had waited till like 3 a.m., I probably could have cashed out for like $12,000. I'm mad that I didn't, but I'm also like both games are like back and forth. So I was like taking it, 1,000.
So I'm in Kentucky. I'm in Louisville. So I have to drive to Indiana for mine. So We're so far behind the curve, right? It's like horses prevail in this state. It's unbelievable.
I feel you. That's definitely tough. Like in Rhode Island, I could go do it. In Massachusetts, like I can't. My buddy who like comes down to my house sometimes, he like shows up and he's like, "Oh, I forgot I can't use my app anymore because I'm like not in the right IP address."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's tough.
So, all right, we got another game. Oh no, wait, no, the Action Network's freaking out. Sorry, that game is 1:00. 4:30 game is the Giants Vikings. Sorry, the time slot was at the bottom, and like I was scrolling through it, and I was wait a minute, that doesn't seem
That's
right.
backwards.
Yeah, 2 games aren't going to be on at the same time. The Giants are getting 3 points here. Like, how do we feel about that?
Dude, I'm going to go ahead and preface this by saying I hate this game. It. This is probably the game that I stay away from the most. And given that, I might just throw a money line hope and prayer at the Giants. Just
stick
cover
it at the wall.
Just make my betting weekend that much greater. Cover that, that money line bet. But I
mean, the Vikings are fraudulent.
They are fraudulent. I'm telling. There was the stat of how many games their point differential is negative, and they're 13-4.
Yeah, they've had almost every single bounce drop their way. Not to say they're not a good team, but like realistically, like they should probably be like 10-7. Like right. They probably should have lost like that Bills game. They probably should have lost that Colts game. And like they probably should have lost like maybe one more game in there. Like
recently the Giants.
X. Yeah.
Like recently the Giants, they had a field goal win at the Giants. That could have went, either way.
Yeah.
But I will say like player props have not come out yet. I'd like to see what Justin Jefferson's over is.
I'm pretty sure I got touchdown scores.
You do have touchdown scores? That could be one too.
I think so.
It just depends on what you get at that value. If it's even money,
props for the Sunday games. I think they're props for the Saturday games.
Right?
We can get into that after we look at these sides. We'll have a whole prop section for everybody.
Yeah.
But what we'll do, like, since a lot of them probably won't be out, is we can kind of speculate on past, like with past lines that were set and see what the lines might get set at and kind of play like that.
For sure.
But all right, let me pull that back up. So my thing here on this is that the Vikings, every time I'm on the Vikings side, they just can't do it. They just can't figure it out. The game starts and they're down 14. And I'm like, you guys are supposed to win by 6.
And then they miraculously come back against the Colts for no reason at all.
But like don't cover.
Right. It's like
they come back, but they don't cover. And they just sit there and they're like, yeah, we won. But then everybody's like, yeah, but like
I was gonna say
so bad. Like,
do you have
that team's 4-12 and won?
Yeah, do you have the same mindset as me? Is like if you're not going to cover, you should not win the game.
I mean, it depends on the number and the team. You know what I mean? So like in most aspects in the Vikings, like close, yeah. For the Vikings, pretty
like,
much.
Yeah, you need to lose.
Yeah, like dude, like why did you win that game? Like
right.
I had another thing going on that would have benefited if you lost. So
right.
But yeah, so I like +3 to start. I think a lot of public money again comes in on the Vikings, and this line goes to +5 by the end of the week. And right. I kind of like the +5. And 3 weeks ago, I was saying that Indy was gonna hang with the Giants. I was like, Giants don't beat anybody by like more than 3 points. They just smoked Indy. I was like, sick. Yes.
Dude, if that line get up to 5, the Sharps are gonna swarm in. It'll stay at 5 for maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I do think it's going to move though. I do think heavy money is going to kind of fly in on the Vikings
I think
-3.
so as well. But like I said, I'm gonna take that Giants money line just for a fun one.
Do we like the over 48 here?
See, I was looking at this too. The problem is you just don't know what Vikings you're gonna get. Like, you're gonna get a good Vikings team, or you're gonna get a bad Vikings team. They're not consistent enough to where I'm comfortable betting an over under with them at all.
Mm-hmm. So what about team total for the Giants? Where would
See,
you like? So it's at 48 right now. The total. I'd probably put it at like 21.
I would if I was Vegas, I would probably say they would put it at either 21.5, or they would put it at I bet they're doing at 21.5.
Yeah.
Just because they think that 21's going to cover, of course.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think that 24 for the Giants is not like out of the realm of possibility. I thought it was the first time they played the Vikings, and I thought that under 48 was going to smash. Of course, the fourth quarter it would have, and then that happened. And I'm just like, what? The Giants scored 2 touchdowns and made this a game. Like, what is happening here? Like,
right.
Daniel Jones looking all confused and stuff, but like things are going right for him. Like, right. I don't know.
That's another thing too, is like these are probably two of, I don't know if I want to say the most inconsistent teams in the playoffs, but these are 2 teams that I had never gotten on to betting for. Like,
I liked the Giants early season. I thought I liked Dayball going in there, and like after they won that first game against the Titans, I was like, Well, then I was on it too long. I wrote it too long, and then they burnt me a few times in the middle of the season. I was like, come on. Why you gotta do me like that? And then now I don't know, the way that skeleton crew just kind of played against Philly. I don't like they're a well-coached team. Like they are, and they get by with lesser talent because they're the NFC Titans. Is what they are. They're the Mike Vrabels, but Brian Dayball's.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like that. What did Mike Vrabel do for 3 seasons? That dude covered for 3 seasons.
Right.
Like, I don't know. The +3 is kind of. I'm liking that, and I don't mind the money line there.
Like I said, I love the money line. I love the Jags, or not Jags, sorry, Giants money line. Sorry, I saw the Jags on the screen. Got me confused.
My bad. I didn't see that comment before, and I did want to get that up there. I'm also gonna throw that one up.
There we go. Well. There we go. That's the Johnson correct, upset.
There we go. It's correct progression of our comment bar.
I love it.
We're getting there. So yeah, Brian Dayball and the Giants cover +3 for me, and also slight lean on the money line there if we want to get frisky.
Just a little sprinkle.
I do like it, depending on the line being dropped here once it opens. I bet it'll open tomorrow for the Sunday lines, but I do like the team total over 21.5 for the Giants. All right, so now here we go. Bengals Ravens, smashing Joe B covering.
It's that simple.
We cover machine.
We don't have to go into detail like this. It opening at 6.5 is. I was mind blown.
This should be 8 to 9.
I thought the same exact thing. I believe with Lamar possibly coming back. I think Vegas got a little worried about it, but I don't have any worries about Lamar. Like, I don't think Lamar could cover this line.
No, I just if he had came back 2 weeks ago and we had kind of seen something from the Ravens a little bit, like maybe, but I just the Ravens have been ugly since Lamar went down. Essentially, even a little bit before that, their offense was sputtering. They don't have Rashad Bateman. Their best wide receiver outside of Mark Andrews is probably Isaiah Likely, their rookie tight end that they drafted in the 4th round, who I'm pretty high on. But other than that, it's like DeMarcus Robinson. And how are you going to have an offense like that? Like, unfortunately, it all relies on your extremely athletic mobile quarterback, and sometimes he's going to get hurt. And right now, I don't know if he's fully healthy. And Joe Burrow is I'm pretty sure he's 21 and like 3 in his last 24 games against the spread.
That
Like
is
the
so
dude's
nuts.
Joe Cool, and like I don't know, one of the coolest people in the NFL.
Yeah, like I don't think people are making a big deal about that enough. Like 21 and 3 is an insane statistic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he keeps on doing it, and he's almost becoming like the Brady bet,
Yep.
right? Like people are trying to bet away from it, and eventually you're going to come back and say, I cannot bet against Burrow. I can't do it.
I don't. I'm just gonna be on the I'm not betting on Burrow train from the very beginning. I'm not gonna be one of those dudes who's like everybody's on Burrow. I'm gonna fade Burrow. I'm just gonna keep betting the 1.5 touchdowns prop for Burrow every week he's in until probably I stop betting, which won't happen. So I'm just gonna keep playing that until they
Absolutely.
move it to 2.5, and then I'm probably gonna look and then be like, oh, well, he's throwing 3 touchdown passes in every game for 6 weeks. The next thing I know, I'm gonna be betting on that too.
Now, I will say the over under at 43.5 here is pretty interesting. What is your take on that 43.5?
See, I'd go to the team total of the Bengals. Anything under 30, I'm smashing, and I'm leaving the Ravens alone because I can't trust that offense to put up more than 17 points right now.
Right.
Realistically, like I do like Kansas City to score 30, but like, what if they beat them like 30 to like 6? I don't think that's really gonna happen, but like,
It's possible. Oh, we got a Dirty Birds cover.
Somebody's thinking differently here.
I know. My whole thinking is just how good is Lamar right now? Is he 100% healthy? Can he still do his magic stuff with his leg, with his knee being injured? Like there's questions that we need answered that we don't have the answers to.
All this talk that we do about Joe Burrow, we don't give enough credit to the Bengals defense who plays extremely well in like these spots, in like the spots that you don't expect them to show up in. They're there and they're playing like really good defense. So
if you remember last year, the Bengals went on this run because of how good and consistent their defense was, right? Like we know it was Joe Burrow, leading the charge, but that defense held their own and they did very well.
Absolutely. So again, I'm on the team total for the Bengals there. I'm on the Bengals minus 6.5. Like it's pretty much. I don't agree with you, Raymond. I'm sorry. I can't abide by the Dirty Birds cover there. But thank you for your comment.
Yeah, I love the Cincy 6.5. Love it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And it looks like we're coming on to our Monday night game here, and then we'll kind of reshuffle back to the top and then go through some prop bets that we can possibly like think about and like set some lines and maybe get some touchdown scorers in there.
Absolutely.
But it's Cowboys Bucks. Me and you kind of spoke about this previously. This might be my bet of the week. The Cowboys are getting 3. I'm going to smash the money line at plus 130. It's Tom Brady in a playoff. He made it to the playoffs. Everybody messed up and let the dude in there. It's a home playoff game for him. And he got the Cowboys as the draw. Like, his storybook. Like, he's moving on to the next round. Like, that's already written. And
this is
how
like,
do you feel about that?
This is like deja vu because didn't the Buccaneers and the Cowboys play on Monday, week 1?
Yep.
This is complete deja vu for me.
And they won 20-3, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And everyone was freaking out about the Bucks saying like,
they're back.
And they weren't, unfortunately.
No, they definitely weren't, but they did get Tristan Wirfs back recently. They got Ryan Jensen back recently. Mike Evans left the game a little bit early, but that was because of an illness, I'm pretty sure, in the Falcons game. And also they only played half the game pretty much. So they're gonna have all their weapons, they're gonna have their offensive line, their defense is playing a little bit better. Like, I
And
just
and it kind of goes back to the last one we were talking about Burrow. It's just like, man, can I really find myself betting against Brady? I've done
here,
it.
here we got a little Burrow hate. We got a little Burrow hate, or
Burrow yet
maybe
to win the big one. He has not
I
won the big one. That's
he hasn't
fair.
won the big one, no, but he did tear his leg up into a couple of pieces and come back and get to the big one. So I will give him credit for that.
I will
On a
say,
Cincinnati team that's been trying to like Andrew Luck him, or was trying to. I think they've made strides over the past year. But
I will say this, and like, sorry, Trevor, I know you're a Chiefs fan, but Burrow is like the Chiefs boogeyman.
yeah, it's
Like,
tough.
dude, if there's
It's a
one guy that can
problem.
beat the Chiefs, it's like Burrow. It's Burrow.
Because he makes explosive plays, but he also like can be a game manager. Like
Right.
he can do both. And like they have weapons that like allow him to do both. And then also they have run game to lean on. They have like a decently smart head coach. They have a solid game plan, and then they have a good defense to lean on. Team's built really well, and I've never in my life thought I'd say that about a Cincinnati team. So
Right.
no disrespect, but
Jeez.
oh
This is
no,
true, man. What
this
can
is
we
true.
say? It's
It's the new
23,
year.
man. Like, anything's possible.
They're sitting pretty and not playing this week, so
It's true.
you know.
They're getting extra rest. Absolutely.
But
Uh,
yeah, it's Tom Brady. It's again, it's the dude. Like it's the guy that it's the older version of Joe Burrow. Let's put it that way. Maybe that's blasphemous to some people, but I'm a Pats fan, so I can say what I want about Tom Brady.
I love this Kevin comment. I love this Kevin comment because it's so true. Like, the Cowboys have shown that they can put up an absolute dud and come back in. They can still compete against teams, right?
Mhm.
The one that comes to mind, I believe, was the Jacksonville game where they lost. And the next week, is that when they played the Eagles?
Yes, I
It
believe
was
so.
it was right in there, right? But
Yeah,
they've always had a weird way of bouncing back. So I am nervous about it, but man, I'm with you. I can't go against Brady at home in the playoffs.
it's just. I mean, maybe it is the Pats fan in me, but I don't know, man. When it comes time to this time of year, it's that dude's automatic,
I,
and the Cowboys are just about as far as automatic, like away from that as you get. Like
I'm a
this
Steelers
time
fan,
of
and
year.
as a Steelers fan, I watched him torch our team time and time again for many years. So
Tampa
it's just,
too, dude. Too much Tampa too.
it's exactly what it is, and he makes his money off that. That's
Yeah.
easy money for him. So
Who so yeah, the Cowboys D coordinators, Dan Quinn. He's diced up some Dan Quinn Dan Quinn defenses in the past. Am I right?
what was the saying? Was it 21-3? Is that what it was, or 24-3?
You're getting there. I think it's close. I think the end result of that though was 34-28. And that's what matters.
That's what matters. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what matters.
That's the one that comes to memory, right? It's like Brady against Dan Quinn in the postseason. I mean, I feel like that's what everyone refers to, right?
that and he's been a couple of different places. Like he has like he runs this defense where he sends pressure, but he's also playing like a mid zone, and like it's just not going to happen. Like that's
Right.
just not how you're doing it against Brady. That's not the move. He's just going to torch that.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
if he starts playing like press man and like sending three and getting a pass rush with like Parsons, Lawrence, and just a defensive tackle, and like pretty much dropping everybody else back and like a man, like that's how you're gonna stop Brady. You can't let him step up, and like you have to bother his receivers off the break and get the timing off. I don't understand how the dude's been in the league for 22 years and we haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
They're still playing prevent against him at the end of games.
Oh gosh.
You're gonna lose.
Yeah, you are. Yes.
I watched the Saints do it. I'm like, you guys are literally coaching this so Tom Brady can win this game. Like,
Yes.
I don't understand. Like, have 20 years of him doing this exact same thing not taught you prepared you for this moment yet. It might happen again on Monday. They might do the same thing.
That's why I'm riding with the Bucks, baby.
Let's
go Brady. Let's go Brady.
Yeah. I can't not root for him. It's in my blood at this point. So we do have. Wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry,
I was just gonna say something about the over under is 45.5. I kind of want to lean under on that a little bit.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
Like, because Dallas, I could see Dallas putting up a 17, right? Mm-hmm. But you know, I could see the Bucks doing like a 23-17. I could see that covering.
Okay. Yeah, I could also see, like, you remember the year after, well, I mean, not the year after. Yeah, it was the year after the Bucks won the Super Bowl when they played each other in the opening game, and the Bucks won like 34-28 off that last drive in OT, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yes. It's
I could also see that going down. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Just like, that one is tough. I do 45, get what you're saying, though.
45.5 is actually a really good number. Like Vegas, I think Vegas hit that one right on the money.
Yeah. I do like it.
That's a really good number. And again, like, of course, the team totals, they'll probably come out, like we were saying, tomorrow or something. Be interesting to see what Tampa Bay's team total over is.
I'd probably put it at 20, was 45, so I'd probably put it at 23 and a half.
See, with Tampa being the underdog, I figured it would be. I figured it'd be 20, and then they'd have like Dallas at 24, maybe, or it could be like a 24-21. Maybe the Bucks team total over is 21.
I do see that. That makes sense. All right, so let's bring it back here to the Seahawks 49ers game, and I do have what's it called? I do have prop lines for anytime touchdown scorer, but we don't have really anything else. So I've been on a George Kittle anytime touchdown scorer kind of streak here. That's at plus 150. Him and Purdy have a reputation now. They have a rapport. He likes his tight end. His tight end likes catching balls for him. So they're typically in the end zone.
Right.
Anything from, like, if they're at like the high mark of the red zone area, so like the 20-yard line, maybe even the 25-yard line, like they're running that like tight end corner route to Kittle, or he's running like a wheel route, or they're running a screen to him. He's getting the ball like at the top of the screen there, like top of the red zone. Then he could get to, like, if he doesn't score, he gets it to like the 2, and then McCaffrey comes in there, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna score that regardless. If he gets in, somebody's getting in that end zone." That's how San Fran's thinking. So
absolutely,
I like the value a little bit more on Kittle at plus 150 than McCaffrey at minus 145 right now. I also like Ken Walker at plus 150.
I'm personally surprised that Kittle's at plus 150, only because if you remember on that Thursday night game against Seahawks, Kittle scored 2 touchdowns, right?
That was the first game Purdy went in, right?
I believe it was, yes.
Yep.
And he scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Kittle went off. Yep. Okay.
So that plus 150 value that's crazy. I figured it'd be even money.
We could even look into the Kittle scoring too.
You could. I bet
that's a plus. That's probably a plus like 900. I'd say, maybe a little bit more.
Wow.
It's definitely hard, but like he did it once against his team.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier with this game. Like we could see both sides, right? We could see defense really coming out and playing, or we could see just San Francisco running the ball and scoring on them. Like we could see both sides.
Mm-hmm. I do like Tyler Lockett probably over in yards. If I'd have to set it, I would probably say somewhere in the mid 60s, probably like 64.5. I'd say I like the over there because like the Seahawks are going to be down. It's going to be a passing game script, and Tyler Lockett is one of the best deep ball. Like he could honestly do that in one play.
Dude, you know what I hated the most was the weeks that Tyler Lockett would just go absolutely off, he had maybe 4 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's like, how can anyone in DraftKings or anything that, FanDuel, how can anyone predict that, man?
No, you don't. You just you see him and you're just like, yeah, all right. This is Tyler Lockett. You just kind of dude. He is like a more electric version of Marvin Jones, but Marvin Jones was the dude who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna have a day where I'm catching 4 touchdowns. And there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Right.
Dude, you're never gonna pick I'll be on your team. You'll never start me on that 4 touchdown day. Never. Won't happen.
No. And then you go back and look, and somehow somebody has him plugged in that lineup because they thought it was his week. It's like,
who's that guy? I want to be him. Why aren't I that person? This Georgia game is bad news. It's 52-7.
Bad look. I mean,
that's so tough. It's not even the fourth quarter. They have 52 points.
I personally have no idea how TCU beat Michigan's beyond me.
Go Austin.
Go Austin. Yes, sir.
There we go. Let's go.
That. We love it. Love the support. Thank you.
Hyped up. But yeah, no, this TCU is getting getting it shoveled, unfortunately. That's a tough look.
I can't believe, I can't say it enough, how TCU beat Michigan. Michigan, I was going to write an article giving you in-depth analysis of why I thought Michigan would win it all. I'm glad I didn't, because they laid a dud, but the statistics played in their favor the whole time.
Yeah, no, I agree. But again, there's something about TCU. I had TCU against Michigan. I was just like, they're gonna pull it out. They're just gonna do it. But I thought they were gonna do this one. This is bad. This is really bad. This is looking like bad. So I went to University of South Florida for a period of time, and when I was there, they played Florida State, and Dalvin Cook was on the team at that point. He had 300 all-purpose yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's shoving our D linemen on the ground like they're like little people. Yeah, get out of my face, child. I was like, no, dude, that was our D lineman. He was our biggest player. He got thrown on the ground. So that's how this feels.
It wasn't Winston that was with him, was it? I don't think it was. Was it really?
No.
I feel like maybe Winston's last year. Maybe Cook was a rookie or a freshman.
Now I'm blanking on the name. He was really good in college. Never really amounted to anything in the pros, though. Didn't have quite the skill set for that. But
I'm gonna be honest. They
didn't really need a quarterback in that game, to be honest. They threw the ball 4 times.
I live in Louisville, so I'm a Louisville Cardinals fan, and I believe it was the same year that it was like a top 5 matchup between Louisville and Florida State, and I just can't for the life of me think of who that quarterback was.
Yeah, that might bother me, actually.
It's gonna bother me. That's all I'm gonna think about.
Then a couple of years later, I actually watched this game on TV, but it was Wisconsin. They played USF, and Jonathan Taylor, 200 yards, 5 touchdowns, highlight reel.
Yes.
Then the draft happened. All the plays after he got drafted were just against USF. It's the same game. Oh no. There it is again. Oh no. Deion Sanders almost coached there, and then he didn't. He made me sad. With Colorado.
Deion at Colorado is gonna be nuts.
Yeah, that place is gonna go off now. All right. Reset.
Yeah, we got off. We got.
That's all right. That's probably
we love sports. We love sports.
Yeah, that's a good motto. We love sports. I'm gonna Brandon Ayuk's over passing or not passing, receiving yards, I think. I'd probably set that line at 59.5.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
I think that's pretty close. I like that. Like I said, getting the ball in the red zone is Kittle and McCaffrey's area, but Ayuk does pick up a lot of these chunk plays and acts as like a intermediate receiver for that offense. And yeah, what were you gonna say?
So I wouldn't surprise me. Like Ayuk was like lower 50s, right? Like a 50, 52 and a half, or
Ooh, I like
you
that
know what I
even
mean?
better.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, just because I don't know what it is about the Vegas and the 49ers. They think that they run all game long, and it's like
They
Purdy
don't.
throws the ball. Like, I don't think people understand. Purdy does throw the ball a lot and does it really well. EJ
Big
Manuel.
comment.
That's what it is.
Big
Yes,
comment.
that's who it was. Wait.
Wow.
Was it EJ Manuel? Dude, was it EJ?
That's
No.
That's the Rex Ryan era.
Yeah. I think EJ was before Winston, was he not?
I thought so.
Dude,
Yeah.
because then I think the Bills
Winston was
drafted.
2015. Yeah, EJ Manuel is a Bills legend.
No,
if he's just stating a fact instead of just answering the question.
I love it.
That's great.
Yeah, I love it.
I do
legend.
sponsor that. That is amazing. I have a Bills fan friend who'd probably disagree with you, but
being a Pats fan, you love seeing EJ Manuel strut out there, didn't
you? Dude. During the Rex Ryan eras with Sammy Watkins, you know that was a dub by 30.
Oh my gosh, we're getting so off track. No, I'm
sorry. I saw the comment.
No, we're all good. I love it. No, but like I thought it was until I like started thinking about like, man, he was a little earlier. I thought, but
I think that was 2013.
But I do. The one thing I like for 49ers is Christian McCaffrey receiving yards. I don't know what it is about his receiving yards that just get me going.
That's been at like 31 and a half. So that's like one wheel route. Or like a half a screen pass for him.
Right. And like
that dude is literally a monster truck in a minivan package. I don't even know how to describe that guy. He is an offensive weapon.
Off the top of my head, I don't know if the last game with the Seahawks, I think he did get like a huge chunk of yards through the air.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, like we remember the Kittle touchdowns.
It was the touchdown pass on the wheel route on the he went around and he caught it on the pylon.
Oh, even better. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was gross.
So like I personally would like a Christian McCaffrey over yards, receiving yards. But I'd like to see what that line opens up at.
I like that. So right there we had Kittle anytime touchdown score, Ken Walker anytime touchdown score, which I didn't really go over, but like the Seahawks run the ball. That's what they do. Pete Carroll special. He learned from his mistake. He runs the ball on the goal line now.
Mistake you capitalized off of, right?
We capitalize where we need to, I guess. It was great times. They're so far from over now. We have fallen very far.
It's good times.
Just broke a leg on that fall into pieces. But it's okay. Hopefully Matt Patricia will be gone and we can like trade for DeAndre Hopkins and
but
then we wouldn't get Bill O'Brien, but like that's cool. Get back Charlie Weiss. go couple back. That dude's smart. He ran a good offense. Bring him in. I got plenty of plans for that. I could get into that.
We'll get into that in a later date.
Yeah, let's slide into the Chargers Jags prop bets here. So I'm liking Mike Williams just got injured. So I'm thinking maybe a Gerald Everett touchdown at plus 290.
I personally, I don't know what it is about Travis Etienne, but I'm whatever his numbers come out at, I think I'm just going to hit the over on it. Okay. I do know that granted with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa there, I don't know how their run defense isn't better than what it is, but I believe the last time I looked, it was bottom half of the league, maybe like bottom 5.
I haven't heard from Khalil Mack since they played like the Raiders and he like ruined Derek Carr like 3 times. He was just like, yeah, that's what I did. That's what I showed up for.
Well, it's odd because I didn't know he even showed up to the Chargers until I saw one of their. I guess it was like a promotional video for the Chargers for the season, and he was in there, and I was just dumbfounded, like, where did he come from?
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I do like ETN over yards.
I would probably rushing yards. I'd probably set that like 73.
That's probably a good
Setting
spot.
that's
Probably a good spot.
probably where I'm at. I'd go over. Chargers don't have a great run defense. The Jags are a smart team. They're capitalize on what the other team does not do well.
And like, there's so much there's so much emphasis on Trevor Lawrence, how good he is, which of course he is good, but like, I don't think people understand how much ETN helps Lawrence out with that run game. Like, they have to compensate for that.
People don't understand how nice ETN is, as caked up breaks would like to say.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
ETN is nice.
He is. This is essentially his rookie year still. He lost. This is essentially that whole team's rookie year, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Like, after going through what they went through. Yep. I definitely like that, Trevor. ETN is probably going to be utilized all over the field. Another dude that I do like is Evan Ingram. I like his receptions. So the past couple of weeks they've been at 5.5, which he hasn't hit. So that's leading me to think it goes back down to 4.5. And if it hits 4.5, I would smash that. Because I think this is another game where the Chargers have some decent boundary cornerbacks and they have good safeties, but their linebackers aren't really all that great. And I think Evan Ingram is a pretty good mismatch against like that group. So I could see like ETN and Ingram both getting those little like dump off passes and kind of just being outlets for Trevor Lawrence during that game. Be a little bit more of an extension of the run game too, like get some screens going with both of them. So if it hits 4.5, I'd play it. If it's still at 5.5, I'd probably stay away from it. The myth, the legend too. We got Marvin Jones here at plus 320 for a touchdown.
Oh gosh.
Whoa.
Oh no. Do we do it though? Like,
I don't know. Like it's
one of those things. It's like, it's not terrible. Absolutely not. Like 320 is great value, but it's like, man, Marvin Jones is.
He's 36.
He's
37.
He's the epitome of like a one game legend. Like he comes out for one game in the season, you won't see him again. He might get a couple sneaky dump offs for 50 yards, and that's about it. That's all you're getting off of him.
So, all right. So here's the play if you play Marvin Jones. Bet more than one touchdown.
Yes, because it's his game.
Yeah, if he catches one, you best believe he catches two.
Dude, it's just like the Tyler Lockett week. Like, it's Marvin Jones week.
Yeah, he invented that week. He
did.
At least Lockett's like explosive. Marvin Jones used to be, but like now he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna like go possession it up in like the corner of the end zone and just get a seed in my chest and catch it, which is totally fine because he catches it.
Marvin Jones anytime touchdown on Thanksgiving Day with Matt Stafford was the easiest lock ever.
Throw it down, best bet
every year. It's unbelievable.
I love that. That was great, actually.
But no, I do love the Ingram play. If it's at 4.5, even if you want to do it at 5, like I think that pushes, like you were saying. I think 5 can push, but I just think even so. I know there was a comment saying ETN over rush and receiving. So sometimes these betting places they'll do like rush plus receiving yards.
Yeah,
I personally would like doing that because it could be like one big play. Let's just say it's a receiving yards, but you bet the rushing yards, so you kind of
you just don't even have to worry about it. You're just like, my dude has the ball and he's getting yards.
Yes,
I don't have to care about whether it was a pass or a run.
Yeah, so I'd definitely like to see what that line's at. If it was me, I would probably say they'd put it at about between 100 to 110. And dude, I think ETN get 110 on the ground.
Okay. If you're in a state with DraftKings, look into the alternate line for that 110 on the ground. You probably get a pretty damn good number for that.
That's the thing too. Is just like it's kind of as every game is, it's game by game, right?
Yeah. Yep. No, I definitely get that. The thing that I find it really cool how in states with DraftKings, you can basically almost bet on anything,
whatever you want.
So the books that like the book that I use sometimes, like last week I went for the passing yards, and there's just like 6 games that just like weren't there. I'm like, oh, so people just aren't gonna accrue any yards passing during this game, huh?
Right.
What do you mean? Like Russell Wilson's in the game. I want to bet his under. Why isn't his passing yards on the thing where I could bet on it?
Right.
Like what's going on?
No, like DraftKings, if you can think of it, you can bet it.
Yeah, I like that. I can think of a lot of stuff.
We'll just throw whatever. Just go into the plus 2,000 parlay odds for me, please.
Yeah, dude, I love those.
I do too.
Those are my favorite things. Like why are we doing this if not to try and hit something that is ridiculous, and so we don't have to like do anything else?
Listen,
we're all trying to make the best buck.
We're here to beat the bookie. That's all that matters.
That is very true. It's very true. So I also I don't really love anything else here on this game.
I was gonna ask you. I think you're on the Bills Dolphins. What's the anytime touchdown for Diggs?
It is not there yet.
Not there. Okay.
It's the Sunday game.
Okay.
I would imagine it's at like plus 100 or like minus 110. It's probably teetering on that line there.
I would be interested to see what that line's at, but I kind of like that line.
Yeah, I mean he is a beast.
He's nuts.
Dude's a problem. It's frustrating. My Bills fan throws it in my face all the time. He torching Pat's cornerbacks. Doesn't matter which one it is.
It often
sits him down.
It often reminds me, like back in the Steelers Bengals days, the Steelers have to play Chad Johnson. It's just like, God, another week.
Yep, it's like we're here and we're gonna get torched.
Right.
It's sad. It's just kind of I just kind of knew it was going to happen.
It's slowly but surely Chase is becoming that guy too. So good times.
Oh yeah, I don't even think it's all that slow.
It's not slow.
I think it just kind of happened as soon as he got there. He was like, "I'm that dude."
Yep.
Oh, there's another Georgia touchdown.
Go figure. That 13.5 for me is
it's looking fantastic.
Oh, you can't beat it.
Liking that, huh? All right. Yeah, so we don't have any other like props live here. We can keep. Do you want to do the rest of the games, or do you want to like maybe like meet back up again and try and do them when they're live?
I'm down to meet back up again. Absolutely. I love doing this.
Right. Maybe we can do this like Thursday night again, and we could do the props.
We could try. Yeah, we could try doing something.
Because I bet. Well, I bet a lot of things, but I would imagine that everything is out by tomorrow. We have some pretty updated lines, and if things change throughout the spreads like a lot, we can kind of update people and kind of recap our picks as well.
Yeah, we got that whole like injury thing too. Like in the next few days, we'll get more info on who's going to be playing, who's not. You know.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let me go back here. I want to see if I was like putting our plays in there and writing them all down, and then I just kind of like kept talking and forgot. So
we were having a good time.
Yeah, no, this was definitely fun. So we like the 49ers minus 10.
Love it.
We like the 49ers team total up to, I said 37 because I think they're going to score 37 points.
I think the line would probably come out with them being 10-point favorites, and it's at
43.
So you got to think they're probably sitting at it's going to be pretty high, probably 30.
It's probably, you said, I think 27.5 was a pretty solid line.
I think 27.5 would be right at it.
I would smash that. So
I think I would too. Yeah.
So then we like the Jags team total again, 23.5. I like the Jags money line plus 100 at the moment right now. You probably should get while it's hot. It's probably going to change quickly. Because, well, actually, we were talking about it. I think money comes in on the Chargers, but I don't think that money line shifts for the better all that
Right.
much, to be honest.
I don't think so either.
We're on the Bills minus 10.5. We're on the waiting to see who the quarterback is because the over, I think, over 44.5.
It could.
Right here.
There's a lot that could change with that quarter. Like if Tua is announced that he's coming back, I feel obligated to take the 10.5. But I know they're gonna bet that down as soon as Tua comes back. So it's gonna depend on what you can get it at.
Yeah, I get you. Then when we both like the Giants here. You like them on the money line more than I do, I think, but I love them +3. And then the lean is on the money line there. And we also like the Giants over team total. We're imagining the line's going to be set 21 there. We're not dealing with, unfortunately, the lines aren't open yet, so that's pretty frustrating. But it's okay. We're doing with what we got, and
I think we're right on it though.
I think we're pretty close to what we're thinking here. It's also going to be cool because we kind of figured this out ourselves to see how close we were to the lines that they set.
Yeah, and the thing is with us gambling for so long, you kind of get a good sense of what Vegas will come out with, right? Mm-hmm. So if you got a whatever I don't know what the over under is, but you kind of just play that into what the team totals can be over or under. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. Then we got the Bengals Ravens. We're both on the Bengals.
Slam the Bengals. Slam them. Gosh, slam them, please.
And then also on their team total, anything basically under 30, I would say to play. I'd say that's safe.
I just can't. I can't say enough. Slam the Bengals. I can't say it enough.
Yeah. And another one here.
Just can't.
Slam the Bucks as well. Slam Tom Brady and the Bucks on the money line +130. I believe that's gonna shift. Public money is gonna smash the Bucks, in my opinion. I'm riding with the public on this.
I am too.
Can't really beat that. Then for the prop bets that we had live, we had the George Kittle anytime touchdown score. That was at +150. Look into the possibility of 2 since he's playing the Seahawks. We like McCaffrey over receiving yards. I believe that will be set at 31.5. That's what it's been at the past couple of weeks. I love that. Brandon Ayuk's over receiving yards. I think that is going to hit. That's probably going to be mid 50s, I believe I said.
I think mid 50s is safe. It could be lower.
Yeah. I like Tyler Lockett's over receiving yards. I believe that's going to be mid 60s as well. Like I said, they're going to be in a passing game script. We like Ken Walker, anytime touchdown scorer, big deep bomb, pass interference on a big deep play, getting on the goal line. It's +150. I believe that was that game, and then the lines that we have for the Chargers Jags, we love Travis Etienne over receiving and rushing yards. If you get them in a bundle, play the bundle. If you can't, play them both separately. I like Evan Ingram receptions. I'd probably lean it at 5.5, but if it's 4.5, I'd play it. Marvin Jones possibility. If you're playing that, play multi-touchdown game because that's how he shows up.
Throw it at the wall, hope it sticks.
Yeah, if you want to just you got $5 sitting in your DraftKings and you just Marvin Jones is going to score 3 touchdowns today. Throw it on there. Who knows? It might be his day, and it might be your day. So I can't do that, unfortunately, because the prop builder that I have, it literally only lets me my minimum is $15, so I can't I really don't want to spend $15 on the flyer that Marvin Jones is going to do that. 5 I'm cool with. All right, I'll spend 5 to win
sure.
500 maybe. 15, all right, we're starting It's a
Exactly.
little bit more. I mean, it'd be a crazy payout for that, but like, damn, I don't know about that. So it's a heavy lean on the Marvin Jones play, but it's so you're aware. That's a nice little lean there. I think I like Gerald Everett as well to score a touchdown if Mike Williams isn't playing because the big body tight end red zone effect. That's at plus 290. And yeah, so I believe that's all of our plays for now. You have anything to add until we come back? We'll probably do this Thursday, same time.
I did want to do the Diggs on
Okay.
anytime touchdown, but I don't know. I don't know what that line's going to be at. I don't know how
I,
heavy they're going to favor it.
I'd imagine like all year it's been teetering between like the plus 100 and like minus 110 area. So like it's pretty much like almost the favorite of the game or
Right.
like right there. So if you get it, I mean, either one's pretty good because if you're doing an anytime touchdown parlay, you're probably going to get pretty good odds for that number.
Right.
So yeah, if you think Diggs is going to score, Diggs is probably going to score. Like that's kind of
odds are
It's kind of how he do. So it's unfortunate for me. I hate to see that, but it's definitely a thing. So yeah, that's pretty much our plays. That was the first episode of the Gritty Gamblers. I'm Tyler. This is Austin. Where can they find you at, Austin, on Twitter? Plug what you gotta plug.
So you can find me on Twitter at Vuick _ VUICK_ and my Instagram. I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, sorry. It's Vuick IG, VUICK IG.
Word. Awesome. Definitely give him a follow. We're going to be doing this pretty much every week, hopefully, maybe even 2 times a week, giving our current format. Football is going to end pretty soon, and we're going to shift into like basketball, hockey, UFC, all the other good stuff. But lines for those are a little bit tricky to kind of play early like that. So we might be giving you guys 2 episodes a week. We'll see how it goes though. Yeah, so that's been the Gritty Gamblers presented by Stadium Rant. Make sure you give Stadium Rant a follow at Stadium Rant HQ and follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well for pretty much all your sports content because we love giving it to you. So that's our show. I hope you like it, and I hope we can win some money. Have a great night.